Hello everyone, we have reached the last chapter of this book, Checkmate. Okay, so we're working with the book Bright Minds Chess Course Level 1. And after all the work that we have done, we have finally reached the end. Congratulations for reaching so far. And now we are just left to learn about checkmate. What is checkmate? Well, checkmate is when you put the king in check, when you put the enemy king in check, and there is no way that that king could go. And that is called checkmate, meaning a check that the king cannot escape from. That is checkmate. So now let's look at some examples of checkmate, and then we're going to be doing some work on the book because I want you to find some checkmates today. Okay, this time we're going to be going through all 11 diagrams of checkmate that are on the book. Okay, so on the book we have 11 examples of checkmate in order to help you understand what is checkmate. So let's start with example number 1. In this case, we see that white is white to play, and white has a queen, a king, and a rook. So let's see where is the checkmate. The checkmate here is queen to h7. Okay, so queen to h7 delivers checkmate. Now, why is this checkmate? Well, the queen is attacking the king, and the king cannot capture the queen because the queen is protected by this rook, so that is very important, and the king cannot move anywhere. So remember the rules of checkmate. If the king is in check and cannot escape, cannot go anywhere, then that is checkmate. Let's go to example number 2. In example number 2 now we have white with 2 rooks. One rook is covering the 7th rank, which is very important. That means that this king cannot come up because the king cannot go in front of a line of an enemy piece. Remember that rule that we learned before. Now, in this case, what white has to do is deliver a check that the black king will not be able to escape from. And the check here is rook to c8. So rook to c8, checkmate. Why is this checkmate? Well, the rook is checking the king, and the king cannot move to the side without being still in check, and the king cannot come up because there is a rook right here covering the 7th rank. So that is example number 2 of checkmate. Let's go now to example number 3. Okay, in example number 3, we have black to play and win. So in this case, notice what black has: a bishop, a queen, and a king. White only has a king. The move here for black is queen to b5. What is this doing? Well, the queen is attacking the king by going right in front of the king. Check. And that is checkmate because the king has nowhere to go. He cannot go to any of those places to try to escape from the queen, and the king cannot take the queen because the queen is protected by this bishop. The king cannot capture pieces that are protected. So therefore, this is another example of checkmate. That is example number 3 on the book. Let's go to example number 4. Example number 4 is quite interesting. We have a knight, a rook, and 2 pawns. Black has a rook and 2 pawns. What is going on here is that the king is hidden and is actually stifled in a little corner. Now, white has the move knight to f7, and that is checkmate. Notice that the knight could jump over pieces. So the knight from here is checkmating the king. Quite interesting one. So pay attention to that one in your own games. Let's go to example number 5 from the book. Example number 5 is black to play and win. Black to play and win. How? Let's see. Well, there is only one check in this position, so which is rook to c1, and rook to c1 is actually checkmate. Let's play the move. Rook c1, checkmate. Why is it checkmate? Well, the king has nowhere to go. The pawns are blocking the king, so the king cannot move forward, and the king cannot move sideways to try to capture the rook. Remember, the king can only move one step at a time. So this is example number 5 of checkmate. Let's go to example number 6 from the book Bright Minds Chess Course Level 1. Let's go to example number 6. Example number 6. In this case, we have a rook working together with a knight. Here in this position, white has two possible checks, but only one of them is checkmate. Just to illustrate this point, okay, I will show you both checks. Check number 1, which is not checkmate, will be rook to c8. This is not checkmate because although the king is in check, the king can only move up and escape. If after you check the king, you notice that the king could escape somewhere, then it's not checkmate. If you are looking for checkmate, you have to analyze that when you play the check, the king should not have any place to escape to. Okay, so in this case now, rook to h7 is checkmate. Why is this checkmate? Let's see. Can the king capture the rook? No. Why? Because the rook is protected by the knight. Can the king move here? No, because the rook moves sideways and control all of the 7th rank. But wait a minute. Can the king move then to g8? No, because the knight controls g8. Okay, so now rook h7 is checkmate. So this is the winning move for white. Let's go now to exercise number 7. In exercise number 7, we have this position, quite interesting one. In this position, appears that black is doing well. Black has a queen. However, look at this king here. It is vulnerable. Now, let's see where is the checkmate. The checkmate is the move rook to h5. Checkmate. But why is this checkmate then? Let's see if the king could escape. Can the king capture the rook? No, it's too far. Can the king move here? No, because the knight controls that square. Can the king then escape here? No, because the knight also controls that square. So the king cannot go to any of those squares because those squares are controlled by the knight. So rook to h5 is checkmate. That is exercise number 7. Let's go now to exercise number 8. In exercise number 8, white is have an overwhelming advantage. Okay, white has 2 rooks, white has a queen, and black only has 1 king. However, in order for you to win a chess game, you have to checkmate your opponent. If your opponent is not resigning, you need to checkmate your opponent. Other than that, you will not be able to win the game. So now, let's see where is the checkmate here. The checkmate here is queen to f5. So we move our queen to f5 and is checkmate. Why is that? Let's see. Can the king move up here? No, because of this rook. Can the king move anywhere down here? No, because of the other rook. And of course, the queen also covers this square and this square. And the queen is now checking the king. So the queen is checking the king. The black king is in check and has nowhere to go. Therefore, that is checkmate. Let's go to example number 9 from the book. In example number 9, we have this very interesting position that teaches us that a king and a rook could checkmate an enemy king. Look at this one. This king is in front of this king, and this is the key position for this checkmate. Now, white plays here the move rook to a8, and that is checkmate. Why is that checkmate? Well, to begin with, the king cannot go to the side because the rook is covering all of the 8th rank. Okay, all of the 8th rank is covered by the rook, so the king cannot move sideways. But the king cannot move forward neither, because the king cannot go in front of another king. 2 kings cannot be together. We saw that rule previously. So this is checkmate number 9 on the book. Let's go to checkmate number 10. In checkmate number 10, we have 2 bishops. If you have a king and 2 bishops, you can also checkmate the opponent's king. Notice, 1 bishop is covering this diagonal, preventing this king from escaping, and the other bishop will deliver the checkmate. Bishop to d5, and this is a check that the black king will not be able to escape from, so this is checkmate. Okay, so notice now how 2 bishops could checkmate a king. Let's go to the last example from the book. This one is quite interesting. In this position, Again, black has a queen, but white has full control of the a file with his two rooks, and his winning move will be rook to a8. So rook to a8, checkmate. Why is this checkmate? Well, the rook attacks the king, and notice that the king has nowhere to go. The king cannot capture the rook because the rook is protected by the other rook. So that is an example of checkmate. Now, let's go and solve some of the exercises in the book, okay? Maria Grace will come and go with the checkmate exercises because now it's time for you to find checkmates in one on the book.
Hello, I am Maria Glis. Let's practice some checkmate. So let's start with practice 139. Here is a very easy checkmate. You just move the rook forward and that will be checkmate. And for practice 140, you have two checks. So you have to check here or here, right? Well, I have three. But the only one that could work is the one right in front of the king. Oh, but how could you put your queen in front of the king? Well, I could put it there because the bishop will be defending it, okay? And remember that the king cannot capture anything that is defended. So, because if you go here, the king could escape from the attack going here or here. So that will not be checkmate. And if you move here, it's the same thing. The king could escape from the attack. So the only one who that work is this one here. Now, please pause the video and try to do the other 4 exercises by yourself. And then when you finish, you will come back to check your answers. Ready? Finish? Okay. Now, here. Okay. And here, the last one for this page. It will be the rook all the way here. The king cannot capture it because it's being defended by the other rook and it cannot go anywhere. Let's go to the next page. You have 6 more exercises. Okay, so for practice 145, you could move your queen here. It will be checkmate because notice that this rook and this one, they are making a wall. Well, they're making 2 walls that the king cannot move to the side. And when the queen attacks from the front, that will be checkmate. And for this one, 146, the rook comes here. Notice that the king cannot go here, here, or here because of this king. Remember, kings cannot be together, so that will be checkmate. Now, please pause the video and try to do the other 4 practice by yourself. When you finish, you will come back to check your answers. Ready? Okay. Now, and for the last one for this page, it is queen right in front of the king. The king cannot capture because the other king is defending it. Okay, let's go to the next one, which will be the last. This will be the last page of the book and the last page for the practice of checkmate. Okay, practice 151. The answer here will be bishop here. It will be checkmate because this bishop is attacking here, so the king cannot go there. Okay. Now for this one, it will be rook right here. The king cannot capture it because the knight is defending it, and the king cannot go here because the knight is attacking there. and it cannot go here because it will still be under the attack of the rook, okay? So please pause the video now. Try to do the other 4 by yourself. When you finish, you will come back for you to check your answers. Ready? Okay. Practice 153 is no last exercise for the book and for this video, okay? And the answer here will be queen capture the pawn, okay? It cannot be with the bishop because if you attack with the bishop, then the king will be able to escape right here. So that's why I have to be with the queen. The queen capture the pawn, the bishop defend the queen and attack the king. The queen attack the king and attack this square here so the king cannot escape, okay? So that will be all for today's video. That will be all for the videos of the book. I hope you enjoy all of the videos and I hope you have the desire to learn a more, okay? Bye bye. See you next videos.